Welcome to episode 3
of Libations
and Litigations.
Okay, so Tanisha, tell us what we're drinking today.
So the drink of the day, the drink of the episode is a blueberry French 76, which I call blushing in blues.
But tell them what's in the blueberry. And I saw her make this, y'all. Tell them what's
in it. Today I did. Blueberry French 76 is basically vodka, some lemon juice, champagne, and some muddled blueberries, all blueberry puree. I did muddled blueberries because I didn't have time to do my puree, but I think it still came out good. I mean, y'all can see the color.
It's good. It's there.
Yes, it's crisp. It's refreshing. So
it's there.
Yes.
Okay, so today our topic is a rather sensitive topic. So
it's gonna give us the blues.
Yeah, and you know, I think our past episodes have been kind of us. We know what we're going to talk about, and we're well versed in what we have talked about. This one, I'm not saying that we are not well versed, but it's a lot of information. So we have kind of like we'll be reading a little bit,
right?
Just so we can inform you all as best as possible.
Right.
So, going back to the original topic. Today's episode addresses domestic violence, which is a deeply serious issue affecting individuals, families, and entire communities. So today here, our goal is to raise awareness, encourage supporters, and let people know that you do have help. So let's inform our followers. Let's start from the top. Let's break it down.
Okay.
What is domestic abuse?
So domestic abuse includes but not limited to physical or sexual abuse, any offense against a person, whether it's physical or non-physical, and specifically when those said persons live in the same household. That can be mother, daughter, child, father. They got to live in the same household, because you can have abuse or battery upon a person just walking down the street. That doesn't make it domestic. Domestic is when they all living in the same household under the same roof. And it can be against siblings, mom, dad. It could be against family members as well, not just grandparents, exactly. It's not just about two people that's married and have kids. No, it can be, it could be domestic abuse among, like you said, grandparents, a mom, a dad, or a sibling.
And again, it's not just physical or non-physical.
Yes.
It can also be
I said sexual.
Sexual is physical, but it can be sexual, and then stalking.
Yeah.
It
can be exactly, and it can start with that, which we gonna get to with the stalking, right?
Yeah.
That leads to what?
Protective orders.
Yes, and we're gonna get into that too. Protective orders is another tool that was by the court that you can file to protect yourself against a perpetrator, a suspect, someone, your abuser, or someone like that.
Yeah. So let's talk about protective orders.
Okay.
So, before you can even obtain a protective order, you're going to go and apply for a temporary restraining order.
Yes.
You're going to do that first. A temporary restraining order, if it's granted, it gives you a opening for what we call legal terms, a rule date for a protective order hearing.
Yes, you gotta have a hearing you gotta prove your case. You have to prove that abuse.
You have to prove
your
case.
For a lot of victims.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. They don't often take pictures. They don't often have witnesses, because we know a lot of abusers often isolate victims into not speaking, or they seclude them from the world, from family, so they don't have much evidence. The only thing they have is their word, they trauma,
or they control them. You take a picture of something, I'm deleting everything.
Yeah, they breaking their phones. Yeah, they break their phones, and they do whatever it takes to protect their image and to keep the victim scared. So a lot of times my clients.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. A lot of times your clients, because you do a lot of protective orders, right? So can you explain to us the steps, I guess, and what your clients go through?
So
agree upon it.
Yeah, they agree upon it.
They agree upon it,
so,
yes.
Speaking of agreed upon, in order to avoid a protective order, if both parties are agreeable, you can enter into what we call a preliminary injunction.
Yes.
And for lack of better words, it's a stay away
order.
So you stay away from this person for however long.
And I stay away from you, you stay away from me.
Yeah, and then also too, sometimes in these protective orders, if you are living, if it's a dating partner, or it can still be a live-in partner, you might be responsible to have to still pay the mortgage, still pay the bills, pay spousal support and child support.
And you gotta have supervised visits to see your children. and you only can talk to your spouse or your soon to be ex-spouse, like you with an app or something, or just only about the children, because y'all have children, and no third party communication.
Nope.
No social media, no nothing.
Nope, no none of that. And so let's go back into, I want to say this part, and then I'm gonna let you talk on the next thing. We want people to know again the severity of a protective order, and then number two, just because a protective order is granted, that does not warrant criminal charges. You have to actually go and press those criminal charges.
Unless the police was called at the time of the incident and they police themselves have arrest warrant.
Well,
and the charges.
But don't think because I'm filling out a protective order, these are criminal charges that are going to be attached to him. No, you have to actually go and do that yourself.
Right. Because on the other hand, once the police is called out there, and I'm saying that because I'm a criminal attorney, she's a family law attorney, so it's you have civil and you have criminal. Yeah. So you can get a protective order at a hearing is civil, yes, but you can get a protective order granted at a criminal for criminal charges. Yeah. So that's why I'm going to talk about. Yeah.
Let's talk about the history of it first, about the law. Okay. That came out. I believe what was that?
Gwen's hearing.
The Gwen's hearing.
Yes. Yeah. So say there's a domestic violence dispute, the police are called, right? And then once the police is called, they investigate. They realize that, okay, we have probable cause to believe that domestic violence has occurred here at this location. So you get arrested. You have 72 hours. Once you get arrested, you have 72 hours from your arrest to either have a normal, to set a bond. But if it's a domestic violence dispute, it's called a Gwen's hearing. That's in Louisiana. So I have it on my phone. This law was enacted in 2000. So in this lady's name, Gwen Cox Sally, she's a Louisiana woman who was tragically killed by her husband in May of 2014. But just days prior to her murder, her husband was arrested on domestic abuse charges, false imprisonment, unlawful weapons possession, aggravated assault with a firearm, and holding her and her children at gunpoint.
So that's showing a history.
Yes, that's just showing
a history.
Yes, he had a history. Or just saying he didn't even have a history. It's just be one isolated incident. Now he may have a history, but that wasn't.
I'm saying prior to shooting her.
Oh yeah, prior to shooting.
That was the history.
This incident, and I'm sure he probably had a history of domestic abuse upon the children. But this incident right here, now the police was called. Yeah. Right. So once the police got there, he was arrested, and then they set a bond. He bonded out quickly. What happened was when he bonded out quickly, he got out and he killed that lady and then committed suicide. That's why we're talking about this today, because all these cases happen with these women getting killed by their husbands, and these men are committing suicide, and these children are getting killed as well. They call those murder suicides. Yep. So Gwen's hearing was derived from a murder suicide, right? And so what happens is it put a safeguard in place. So the judge determines how violent this person is, how serious these charges are, and how much protection we need to put in place. Whether he's on an ankle monitor, whether he has to take domestic violence classes, what can we put in place to stop this person?
Or we have to remain in jail.
Or he have to remain in jail, exactly. Because if this is third incident, he has no bond. They can take your bond away because this is your third time coming in here for some type of aggravated charge or violent charge upon a person, right? Yep. So say this is first time. We're gonna have a hearing. We're gonna have the victim come talk. There's a public defender could appoint, or you can hire an attorney to represent the suspect, the abuser.
And at this point, it's them versus the state.
Yeah, it's the state versus a person, right? The same thing she said, but it'll be the state versus John Doe, right?
So there's a prosecutor.
Yeah, so there's a prosecutor in place.
Because in protective order hearings, in civil protective order hearings, there's no prosecutor.
It's a person against a person.
It's a person against a person. Plaintiff versus defendant.
Yes. Yep. That's the difference, y'all. Y'all have to know that. In a civil protective order hearing, it's different. Yep. What Hallie just said, when it's criminal charges that's pending and they going in front of the judge to determine whether that person can have a bond, it's the state versus that person. Yep. Right? So they can determine whether that person has mental health issues that's causing this violence, that they have a history of family violence upon their significant other or the children. So they either put a high bond in place to make it hard for them to bond out. I know it sounds unfair to that person, but this is to protect the public and to protect that victim. But so that's what the Gwen's law was named after Miss Gwen, you know, and so that's what's in place when it comes down to when a person, goes to jail for domestic violence, they have to have a Gwen's hearing within 72 hours. And then,
and
go from
stalking
there.
is still included in that.
Stalking is still included in that.
And if you violate a protective order, you're going to jail. And now you got to have a Gwen's law hearing.
Because they can put a temporary so the judge can put a temporary protective order in place at that Gwen's hearing.
Yep.
Yeah. And so while your charges are pending, because you still got to go face them charges.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to face, it's up to the prosecutor whether they want to actually bring charges against you to determine whether there's enough probable cause.
Right.
But most often they do. Temporary protective order is granted, and they got to go fight. They got to go fight those charges.
Yep.
So they can bond out eventually.
Yep.
But if you can't bond out, you're going to sit in there because that's to protect that person. And so I just want people to know that these things there's these obstacles in place now to protect victims.
Yep.
Yes. And so take it serious, guys, because I get a lot of clients, the mother of their children, their wives calling me because I'm a criminal defense attorney. So they called me, attorney Riggs, we can do to get him out. I said, are you the victim? They were like, well, yeah. I was like, well, baby, you need to talk to the prosecutor.
Right. And that goes back into what I said before. It's a lot of instances where, and again, these incidents can be so serious, and to just want somebody to come home. And sometimes you get it as an attorney, you need your bills paid. You need this, you need that, you need the help.
They're the providers. The men are the providers. Yeah. Not just men, but
it's a very tough situation, and you have to know once you take it that far to say, hey, I'm going to go and protect myself and my family.
Right.
You got to stand on it.
You got to stand on it. And you have to make those sacrifices. It's going to be hard. It will be hard. If that man or woman was the provider, or that person was the provider in the house, and now they're in jail and you're struggling, but you're alive though.
You're alive.
You're alive. You deserve to be alive.
Safe.
Yeah, you're safe. You're safe.
Safe.
You deserve to be alive. You're safe. Your family, your kids do not need to see that.
Yep.
They don't need to see their mom or daddy going through, abuse.
And it's not love.
It's not love. It's not love. And that causes a lot of trauma.
And it trickles down to the trauma on your kids.
Because now your daughter may think that's okay.
Or
your daughter's son. Your son, exactly. He like, I seen my daddy do it, because it happens. It's generational trauma. And so it's up to you to put stop to it, because your children are going to respect you more for standing up. Mama, this was hard, but they have resources in place. They have faith house.
So that was going to be the next thing we were going to talk about. We're going to talk about some safety and strategies about that.
Okay.
There are first things first. Never be afraid to speak out.
Yes.
And get help. There are so many resources. Whether you think that there are not, there are resources. Like you just said, the Faith House is one of them. Yeah. And I'm sure they have, they're called different things in different areas.
Yeah.
But there are places.
A domestic violence shelter
that are there to help people, to say, hey, we're here for you. It's going to be hard, especially if that person was the sole provider. It's going to be hard. But like you said, you're alive and you're safe, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And to also protect your children. Because like you said earlier, so many murder-suicides have been happening. We had one recently in Shreveport that was on April 19th.
That's so sad.
I don't know if there was a history of domestic violence. I don't know that. But 8 innocent people were killed. A mother was shot, and then you shot yourself.
2 women were shot, and then 8 children were killed.
That's very hard.
Yes, that's terrible. That's tragic.
And it's almost like, what could you have done to protect it? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know if there was a history there. I don't know. Who would even guess that would have happened? Yep. Like, who could predict that incident from happening? But it's so prevalent now.
He killed himself
in these areas. What a coward.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off. No, go face justice. I want you to go face justice. I want you to stand up.
But that's the thing. I think when it comes down to that, they don't want to face it because they know that it's just selfishness.
Yeah.
They had another one in Youngsville, Louisiana.
Yes.
Where this family had just gotten back from Disney World, I believe. And he killed his wife and his son, and he killed himself.
Yeah, it was a triple homicide. Yes.
There's another one in Virginia. The lieutenant governor, he and his wife were going through divorce. He kills his wife and himself, and his children were downstairs. I mean, there are so many cases that we can talk about where you're in the middle of something, and violence is never the answer.
No, it's not.
And if you feel that you are not safe, please reach out to your nearest, call the courthouse and say, hey, what are the resources for domestic abuse?
Yeah, what can I do?
Where are the shelters? What can I do to protect myself and my kids? I'm sure you can remain anonymous. It's just so many things. We just want to place awareness out there and saying it's okay to go and get help. It's okay to go and get help.
I think statistics shows that it takes a victim at least 6 to 8 times to leave before they actually leave.
Yeah.
It takes them a while because the manipulation and the grooming and control has been going on for years, to where it takes them a lot, and they isolate them.
Yep,
they do. It's hard for them to even know that they know it's not right, but they got their brain so just in survival mode that they don't even know that they can get free until it takes one person. So, because I know the Faith House provides an attorney, and they represent them in these protective order cases and do the Gwen's hearing for them, and so it's resources out there, but it's just hard. And I'm glad we'll be talking about this. It's very hard to talk about.
It wouldn't be right to not get on or use our platform to promote awareness, especially something that is like, every time I get on my phone, I'm seeing some form of domestic abuse and murder. Like it's. I mean, we could talk for hours
about all this. Yeah.
So we just want to say that even if you don't know where to go, you can find us and reach out to us on our pages and ask for help. We will help you.
We will help you. Seriously, because I do not play that. Like, I know I'm a criminal defense attorney, but it doesn't matter. I'm a woman first. Yeah, we will help you. Right.
Protection is power. You are strong, and
your voice matters. You deserve to be heard.
Yeah.
And
so, yeah. And never a judgment zone. Ever.
No, I will not judge you at all.
I don't think.
You're a victim.
I don't think in all my years I've ran across someone judging another person for going and getting protection against themselves and another.
It's just hard when, you probably, but a lot of family members of that person, the person that's getting accused, they will often attack that victim.
That's true.
They and that's why they don't speak up, because you may have enablers. You may have somebody. They enable them, so they often don't want to speak up because they're gonna. And sometimes the kids can't understand because they hid it so well from the children. It was like, Mom, why are you doing this? Or Dad, why you want to separate our family? But they don't understand. So you kind of scared to make that move, but silence the haters. Don't worry. You know what you went through. Because if you're a victim, do it anyways.
And you don't
matter what you speak out.
You speak out and you let your voice be heard.
Yeah, don't matter what they say. You stand 10 toes down and you go against everybody who feels like you're quote unquote lying or you making it up. Because why would you? They do have some people who lie to try to get over some. Shame on you because you make it hard for real victims.
Yep.
But society
shame on you.
Makes it so hard for women to speak up, and I don't like that. They make it so hard for women to speak up, so a lot of women don't. But women, I want y'all to still keep doing it.
And that's again the whole Me Too movement.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. The whole,
So,
but still speak up, because 1 in 10 can be helped. Still speak up.
Yep. So if this message today at least touched one person, I'm pleased.
I'm happy.
It was like on our hearts, and we felt like we had to talk about it. And again, who would we be if we did not advocate
for victims? Yeah, for victims. Yeah.
So that wraps up episode 3
of Libations
and Litigation. We didn't laugh much on here.
No, serious.
But next episode we'll make sure to, have some laughter and, do all that good stuff what y'all like. But we hope that y'all enjoyed this message, and we have hoped to educate many, many people. So see y'all next week.
See y'all next time. Thank you.